Okay, this is Orlando Wilson, and in this video I want to talk about something that happened a couple of weeks ago in the UK, which was, I think Greenpeace managed to get access to the British Prime Minister's residence, his home. We'll talk about that in a second. In the meantime, we've been a little bit busy, so we've not been throwing out so much social media, and we might be busy again for the next few weeks, but we'll be getting back into our routine of throwing out videos, hopefully in late September, in the fall, in the autumn. So, back on topic. A few people reached out to me about this and asking me what I thought. You know what I think is everybody should know, everybody that follows me should know what I think. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous that Greenpeace, I think it was Greenpeace, managed to access the house of the British Prime Minister and put up, I think they draped it in black drapes or something. I find it absolutely amazing that there was no residential security, there was no duty police officer, there was no surveillance that could get there quickly, etc. And a few people have come out and said, well, the British police knew who these people were, they weren't a threat, etc., etc. That is complete and utter BS. Apart from it being a huge failure in security, because any of those people could have been carrying IEDs, etc., chemical weapons, etc. And they had access to the British Prime Minister's house pretty easily. In addition to the failure in security, it's making the UK look even more stupid. And I think the failures within the British police at the moment are becoming horrendous. Once upon a time, I always used to tout the British police, and in the day when I was in London in the late 90s, I learned a lot from ex-Metropolitan police officers, etc. They were very, very professional. I learned a lot. I had good guidance. These days, I'd be very wary about dealing with British police officers. Very wary. I think they're more concerned these days about wokeness than they are about actually doing their job. And I've had people say, well, the cops want to do their job. They're not allowed to do their job. If you Google, there was an incident, I believe, in West Yorkshire in the last few days where I think it's like 6 or 7 police officers went and barged into somebody's house and arrested, I think, a 16-year-old girl with autism because she called some police person a lesbian nana. So if the police have got the resources to go around and do things like that, then I think they should be able to protect the British Prime Minister. So what do I think about it? I think it was horrendous. I had somebody say to me not so long ago on social media, what do I think about people specializing in residential security? You have to, the residence is where the client lives, is where the family lives, it's where they spend time, it's where they relax. Even if they're not in residence, when they're not there, the place needs to be protected. And I know for a fact there was plenty of houses. I used to have several part-time gigs on several residences in London that were manned 24/7, 365 days a year, because the clients knew if they left their residence unattended, it's London, they could get squatters in there, the places will be burgled, vandalized, etc., etc. So the fact that these people were able to access the British Prime Minister's residence is nothing short than horrendous. Now let me bash the Brits a little bit. And for people to say, I can bash them because I am British. I've heard so many, I'm not going to call them, once upon a time it was British Bulldogs. Now I think it's British Lapdogs. Talking about how they're going to fight Russia. Yeah, we want to go to war with Russia, we're going to bash Russia, etc. Okay, 1, you cannot even protect your Prime Minister. 2, you have that many immigrants, illegal immigrants, pouring across the channel, you cannot protect the channel. You cannot protect your borders. I think the MOD, British MOD, put out a report, I think it was one of the intelligence division or something, put out a report that the issue in Ukraine, one of the reasons the offensive is failing is because of high weeds, too much foliage. The grass is not being cut. Well, If you can only fight on, how can we put it, manicured cricket fields, you're going to have big problems. So this is where I think in the last couple of decades, and I always used to tout British security, the British way of doing things has been the best. I think in the last couple of decades, it's absolutely crashed. And this issue with the British Prime Minister's residence, I can't even say his name, Rishi or whatever his name is it's embarrassing. Completely embarrassing. It's embarrassing not only to the British police, but also it's embarrassing to those in the security industry in UK, because as everything the police are looked upon as being the best, and everything below that is substandard. So if the people that are being looked upon to look after the politicians, the royalty, etc., can't do their job, how can the rest of the security industry do its job? I'm not going to check my other videos on the SAA, and you can see what I think of them. But I think it's a pretty sad state, and I'm not sure our UK is going to recover from it, because the standards are going further and further downhill. Oh, so that's answering the questions for a few people have sent me about my opinions on that incident. So I hope it upset a few people and made a few people cringe, because a lot of people deserve to cringe, and that's putting it very politely. In the meantime, follow us along on social media. We got a lot more of these videos up on YouTube, Instagram, etc. I've also got an array of books up on Amazon that cover various aspects of the security business, including home and residential security. So check that out. Check out our blogs. Check out our websites. We've got a load of articles up there. And I think there's an article on the Risk Inc. website. There's an article on residential security with the security checklist. Maybe some people need to read it. Anyway, in the meantime, be good, stay safe, stay out of trouble. As I said, we've been a little bit busy, but give us a few weeks and we should be back into the swing of things with more social media. We've got a lot of content lined up. We just need to get the time to do it. So be good, stay safe, stay out of trouble.